Let's talk about that feeling. You know the one. You ask an AI for a script, and what you get back sounds like a robot. Well, today we are going to crack that code. We're going to figure out how to make AI-assisted writing sound genuinely, unmistakably human. And it all starts right here, with this exact feeling. It's this moment of total disconnection. This creator, Kathy, she just nails it. You get that script, you read it out loud, and suddenly a stranger is talking. It's weird, it's jarring, and honestly, it's a problem we have to solve.
So, what is going on here? Why do these unbelievably powerful tools churn out scripts that just feel hollow, structured, kind of lifeless, and just plain wrong? It's a real head-scratcher, and you are not imagining it. So let's dig into exactly why this happens, and more importantly, how you can fix it.
Okay, so first up, let's get one thing straight. AI isn't trying to be fake. Think of it more like an impersonator, and its default setting, well, it's a polished, generic, and ultimately kind of soulless character.
Now, what's so interesting is how specific this fake voice actually is. It sounds too perfect, right? A little too polished. That's because these models are trained on, well, the entire internet, so they just average everything out. They present information, but they don't share a memory. And that's the huge difference between a lecture and a real story. The result is something a creator perfectly described as productivity coach energy. You know, it's all technically correct, but there's no soul.
And this is so important to remember. The AI isn't some villain trying to steal your voice. The real problem is, in our rush to be efficient, we often just hand our voice over. We tell the machine what to say, but we completely forget to show it how we say it.
So why does all this fake-sounding stuff feel so fundamentally wrong to us? I mean, why do we have such a gut reaction to it? Well, the answer isn't in the tech. It's actually deep inside our own heads. It's about human psychology. This brings us to this really fascinating idea from behavioral economics. It's called loss aversion. And put simply, it means the pain of losing something hurts about twice as much as the pleasure of gaining that exact same thing. Right? Losing 20 bucks feels way, way worse than finding 20 bucks feels good. Our brains are just hardwired to avoid loss. And this is precisely what happens with your content. The second your audience senses that a script is inauthentic, they feel a loss. It's the loss of that genuine human connection they were hoping for. And because of loss aversion, that feeling of being let down is so powerful, it just completely wipes out any value they might get from the actual information.
I mean, let's be real, we are all just swimming in this endless sea of content. And yeah, those quick dopamine hits from short videos, they have their place. But people are starting to crave something more. They want context. They want a story. They want a real connection. And a polished, robotic AI voice, it just can't deliver that meaningful engagement that we're all looking for.
Okay, enough about the problem. Let's talk about the fix. How do you actually take this incredible tool and create a script that, finally, sounds like you? All right, here it is, a simple 4-step formula. First, never ever start with a blank page. Give the AI your messy notes, your bullet points, your half-baked ideas. Treat it like a partner, not a ghostwriter. Second, you have to use the coffee test. Read every single line out loud. Would you actually say that to a friend over coffee? If the answer is no, it's gone. Third, mix up your rhythm. AI loves to write in these uniform blocks of text. People don't talk like that, so make short, punchy sentences with longer, more flowing ones. And finally, and this is the absolute most important step, inject a real lived experience. That one little story from your life, that's the one thing an AI can never, ever fake.
Now look, this shows you just how small these changes can be. The AI version says, it is important to follow these steps. The human version? Here's what you should do. See the difference? It's conversational. It uses contractions. It asks questions. Remember, you're not writing a term paper. You're having a conversation. So write like you talk.
It really all comes down to this powerful idea. The goal of using AI isn't to sound smarter or more perfect. No way. The real goal is to sound more like yourself. Just maybe a little clearer, a little sharper. Your authentic voice is always going to be more powerful than some artificial perfection. And that brings us to the final, and I think the most empowering part of all this. In a world that is about to be flooded with AI content, your greatest asset isn't some clever prompt. It's something you already have. So the bottom line is this. Your humanity, that's your unfair advantage. It is the one thing that is literally impossible to replicate. Your weird sense of humor, your specific way of looking at the world, the way you tell a story, that's where the real magic is. I mean, really think about it. You have decades of lived experience, all those weird jobs you had, all those awkward moments, those tiny little victories. That is your secret weapon. That is your private, exclusive data set that no AI on Earth will ever get its hands on. Your history is your advantage.
Let this be your mantra. AI will always default to polished. It can give you a perfect sentence, a clean structure. But you are the only one who can bring honesty to the table. And honesty is in the details. It's in the imperfections. It's in the real memories. That's the stuff that makes an audience stop scrolling and actually listen.
So I'll leave you with this question. The next time you sit down to create something, don't just ask the AI, what's a good idea for a script? Instead, ask yourself, what's the story? What's the perspective? What's the truth that only I can tell? Because in the age of AI, your unique humanity isn't just a nice little feature, it's the entire point.